Let's talk about Monday Night Raw because we got to. All right. March 20th, 2023. A not good episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm getting very frustrated with Triple H and the way that he's booking WrestleMania. It's making me very unhappy. But there's still some bright spots here. So let's focus on that. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. They're in the ring. The crowd is very happy for both of them. They're chanting for Sami mostly. Kevin Owens brings note of that. So then the crowd starts chanting for Kevin Owens. Ultimately, Sami Zayn said that he was approaching all of this wrong. He was approaching their relationship like a business transaction when they always needed each other. Whether they were fighting one another or whether they were friends on the same side, they always needed each other. This was no different. So Kevin Owens says that he's always been Sami Zayn's biggest fan. And it was frustrating to watch Sami Zayn be under the thumb of the bloodline, knowing that he could be better than them and that he was better than them and he outgrew them very quickly. And that it's now time to take down the bloodline together. The Usos came out there. Jay called Sami a backstabber and said they're the kind of family that cuts each other's throats. They caught, of course, Sami and Kevin Owens looking at the WrestleMania sign. Jimmy Uso said there ain't nothing happening at WrestleMania. Ain't nothing happening because you don't deserve it. No title shot. So then Jay said, well, you know what? This might be our chance to finally stop this Kevin Owens and this Sami Zayn problem. To put them in the dirt. So he actually overruled Jimmy by saying, yeah, we will have the title shot. So it's going to be the brotherhood of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the brothers Uso. And you know what? I like that. We took the scenic route to get here. And for some people, they wanted it to last a little longer. But this opening segment was very good. Jey Uso remains better than most people are giving him credit for. And people are giving him a lot of credit nowadays. He's still very good. Jimmy is coming along quite well, too, now. Being quite impressed by Jimmy. So backstage, Roman Reigns is upset the Usos got beat up earlier. He ain't happy about that. Then Jimmy was upset, said that he's never going to forgive Sami Zayn for the time that his brother wasn't speaking to him and that he got blamed for it. So you would think Jimmy would have been mad at Roman, but no, he was mad at Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn caused this issue. That's the thing. Roman excused everybody except Jay. Him and Jay had to have words. They needed to talk. So, at this point, it's just Roman and Jay. And Roman's like, well, you're back. You're back making decisions. You got to be in the bloodline to make decisions. Ask Jay if he was back. Jay says yes. He's bloodline. He's with them. Roman Reigns, nodded. Said that he loved Jay. But Jay did not say it back. That was interesting, of course. Very tense scene, reminiscent of, the early days of the bloodline, where it's just Roman and Jay, and they up to no good. Heyman returns. He gives the Usos the night off. Solo and Roman are going to go to the ring to confront Cody Rhodes. And this Cody Rhodes segment with Roman Reigns was tremendous. So Cody Rhodes wants to know, what's the problem? That Roman said that Cody was a problem. He's like, what is that? What is that? What is the problem? So Roman has to explain. He says, not you. It's what you represent. Says, I'm a megastar. I'm a superstar. I'm a fighter. You're just a pro wrestler. You are what our fathers were. That's a nice little dig. Then he says, you come out here talking about these things you're going to do, finish the story. He's like, you ain't going to do nothing. You ain't going to do nothing but run away. You didn't want to do the Stardust thing. You ran away. You created your own company, couldn't get over, you ran away. You came back and your body quit on you. Then he says, this for you, this is just a golden ticket. This is just an opportunity. You're not going to do anything. You should worry about April the 3rd. You have to wake up the next day and look in the mirror and realize that you're also still not the champion. Oh, Roman, he cooked Cody on this one. Boy, he filleted Cody with ooh, boy. Sheesh. He cooked Cody. He barbecued this dude. So Cody gets the microphone. He says that there is some truth. There is true to what Roman Reigns said. That when he faced adversity when he was younger, he did run away. He says that as far as him being a superstar, he says he tried to be a superstar. He wanted nothing more than to be a superstar, but maybe, just maybe, he was meant to be a dirt under the fingernails, blood in the mouth pro wrestler. Said that he doesn't want to hear any more about his father, don't want to hear any more about his brother. But if his mother was here, she would say, knock that boy out, and then hit him again for good measure. Says that Roman's got to get used to losing. And that once he does, everyone's going to leave. He's going to be a man with no family, a chief without a tribe. And then during this tirade, he actually looked at Solo and said, Solo, you've been staring at me all night. And as somebody who was second generation, who used to follow the champion around, I could tell you that you're not ready. And that was a nice little burn on Solo, because he didn't like that too much. So Roman didn't bother to retort to Cody. He just dropped the microphone and he left. As Solo was leaving, Cody added, see, I told you you're not ready. So Solo, took that as a challenge. Snatched his little towel off his head. He's going to do something to Cody. Roman called for him. He ignored him. He tried to Samoan spike Cody. He got kicked in the arm. He goes down a little bit. He jumps back up. Now Roman's on the ring apron and got him by the shoulder. Like, what are you doing? Didn't try to embarrass him too much. But he made Roman return. He made Roman come back. So it cut out pretty quickly at this point. As soon as it hit 11, as soon as the clock hit 11, it was over. Like, we didn't get to see, them leave or anything. And this was, again, a tremendous segment. Absolute, just diced up Cody. And, Cody can take it. He's a top guy at this point. I wouldn't say he's bulletproof, but he can take these kind of verbal whippings. He can dish them out. He can take them too. So I'm not mad at it. It was a nice little punch that, Cody doesn't finish the job. Cody takes off. And I like that Cody was humble. He accepted it. That, he didn't finish those jobs before. He did what he thought was right, though. And he talked about, helping to form another company, made the boys a lot more money. I guess that's a small victory. I guess take the small victories when you can. But I like the distinction about Cody Rhodes being an old boring pro wrestler. You are what our fathers were, which is a nice little line from Roman. Basically it's a positive and a negative, because he's saying that Cody's a throwback. And Cody wants to be Hulk Hogan. Like, literally, he wants to be Hulk Hogan. And it's this idea that what Roman is modern, forward, sort of progressive. What Cody is retrograde. It's old and dusty. Not in a, Dusty Rhodes situation, but just dusty as in cobwebs. Like, we're more than that now. We're doing more than that now. While Cody is saying, there's a certain charm, a certain level of grit it takes to be a pro wrestler. And he wanted to be a superstar, but maybe he just got too much fire in his blood. And I like that too, because I think ultimately the fans have been conditioned to hate the term sports entertainer, to hate the term superstar. And it really does get Cody over as a babyface if he just keeps clinging to the I'm a pro wrestler thing, which of course is, to me, is minimizing. But then again, you can't tell people what to be excited about or what to be interested in. But there's a general large, not fat. Let's taper it back a little bit. There's a subsection of the fandom that prefers for wrestlers to call themselves wrestlers. And of course, that's the old Bryan Danielson, CM Punk. I'm a real pro wrestler. I wrestled in Japan. I wrestled in $25 and a hot dog indies. That kind of crap that they like to pull every now and again. Whenever you got a guy like a Rock or a Cena or Roman or something like that, you want to tout your indie credentials. How many VFW halls you wrestled in. And, I get it. It's a love of the game kind of situation where you pass up all the money and the fame and the recognition for the love of the art. And that's really what a lot of the fan base is looking at. They're looking at, hey, do you really love the art form? When, because if you love the art form, you'll make less money, but you'll create better art. That's all in quotations. Better art should be in quotes. So it's an interesting dichotomy that they're creating here. And I liked it. I thought it was very good. So this whole promo was just awesome. Roman still doesn't feel too threatened by Cody, but it's clear that Cody he's smart. He's helping to stoke the fire between Jay and Roman. He's helping to stoke that fire, but now he's also creating some situations, some heat between Roman and Solo. Because now Roman's yelling at Solo. He's putting his hands on Solo. It's like, wait a minute now. It's getting a little difficult now. All right. So I like this. I thought this was fantastic. Most people did. I'm not actually going to be negative on this one, but this was the only thing on the show that I think was absolutely positive. And without a doubt, this was the slam dunk of the show. Too bad it started at 10:50, because that means from 8 o'clock to 10:50, we had to deal with a hodgepodge of just the most random stuff. But it wasn't all bad. Montez Ford versus Austin Theory. This match was actually pretty solid. Austin Theory won the match clean. Okay. I don't see why he needed to win the match clean, why he couldn't cheat, but okay. Austin Theory needs to win. He gets the microphone, says that Montez Ford didn't believe in him. Now he does. Says that Cena doesn't believe in him, but at WrestleMania, Cena will. It's not working. Austin Theory is like waist deep in sand right now. He's standing still instead of trying to look for a way to get out of this. And this is Triple H for you. Put this kid in this position, and now he's standing there holding this title in this situation, and everybody's kind of like, yeah, can't wait. It's like, what do you mean you can't wait? I want this kid to look good. He's not really been elevated yet. He hasn't done anything yet. This is very unfortunate. This is very, very unfortunate. All right, so Adam Pearce is attempting to talk about these stupid showcase matches. These matches are dumb. So he created this fatal four-way match after they said that the women are having qualifiers, apparently. I guess. But the men don't have to have a qualifier. They just threw 4 teams together. The Viking Raiders, the Alpha Academy, Street Profits, and Ricochet and Braun Strowman. To me, this feels like it should be on the kickoff show. These matches, what are they for? Even if they're number one contenders matches, they're still useless. They're awful. Still, Chelsea Green wants to be in one. She talked about how she brought matching gear for Carmella, who isn't there, but they didn't explain why she wasn't there. Then said that Piper Niven is going to be her replacement. So then she threatened Adam Pearce if she doesn't get into the women's showcase, and said she's going to put him on blast on social media, which, you don't want that, Adam Pearce. You don't want that. But nobody responded to the question of where is Carmella? Where did she go? I'm not saying like, this is the most important thing in the world, but yeah, where did she go? Where did she go? Anyway, match 6. You already know my rule. The more matches on the show, the worse it is. Match 6, Bianca Belair and Asuka versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. The crowd went absolutely ape as Bianca lifted up Piper Niven on her shoulders to give her the KOD. That's a money-making spot they just gave away. And they've given that spot away more than once. So, I mean, that could be like a really big moment if, Piper Niven was taken seriously and treated as a serious performer. Her getting the KOD would be considered a big, big moment. But, nah, she's just in a match with Chelsea Green. So, after the match was actually worse than the match itself. And I'm actually quite sad that two people I like Asuka and Bianca Belair, had such a tragedy, such an absolutely god-awful post-match brawl. So Bianca Belair wins the match. She's attacked from behind by Asuka. So then Asuka throws a roundhouse kick that Bianca Belair blocked, but still took a bump. Now, here's the thing. It was pretty clear that she was supposed to just take the kick and then go down. But two things happened here that made it look like absolute basura. I'm talking feces. One, Asuka threw that kick with the intensity of an old lady. We know she can do better than that. Now, she did that so she wouldn't take Bianca's head off. Wouldn't have made much of a difference considering Bianca was basically in the damn fetus position before Asuka really even threw the kick. So she sat there and waited for the kick, then had her hands up, so she basically blocked the kick. Then the kick came weak, and then she went down. It was all bad. It was all bad. Bad. I have been saying for weeks that Asuka needs to turn heel. They finally do it, and they did it, and the execution was absolute trash. Trash. This was something that would have getting edited out of a Superstars taping or something like that. They would have had to do it again. It was that bad. This is awful. I feel bad for both of them. I know both of them could do better than this. And I'm very disappointed that this is what we got in terms of Asuka's official heel turn. For starters, we should have done this weeks ago, But then when they actually do it, it looks like shit. I can't even blame just one person. It would be easy for me to be like, oh yeah, Asuka threw a shitty roundhouse kick. But it's like, even though the roundhouse kick was shitty, if Bianca would have taken it on the chin, it might not even look too bad because it was a weak kick anyway. But the fact that Bianca was overprotected from this weak-ass kick made it look even worse. And I was just like, oh, God. That's beyond the fact that this match shouldn't even happen. Why do I need to see Bianca Belair and Asuka team up to fight Chelsea Green and Piper Niven? Why do I need to see that? Why should I care about this? You got the AEW fans, they're constantly losing their minds because people ask you, why should I care about this? It's like it's the same question again and again. It doesn't end. Why should I care about this match? Bianca Belair has beaten Chelsea Green like 3 weeks in a row. Why should I care about this match? Why is it that Asuka and Bianca Belair was in a feud for WrestleMania for 2 months? And this is the only thing anywhere near heat that they've created, and it looks like shit. It's incredibly frustrating. It's frustrating. Trust me, it's not good. And now they're going to have these silly showcase matches. Now to go back to the silly showcase match, which I'm pretty sure Chelsea Green is going to find herself in. Otis and Chad Gable. Chad Gable is once again walking around trying to find Otis. He doesn't know where Otis is. He finds Otis. Otis is getting a manicure. He's got cucumbers on his face and everything. It's ridiculous. So, Chad Gable says, to Otis that he got them this match at WrestleMania. He needs his number one guy because he has to wrestle one of his opponents. He has to wrestle Ricochet. And he knows Braun Strowman is going to be in his corner, so he would he needs his number one guy in his corner. So Maxine Dupree says she has, quote, a stellar opportunity to get Otis a job hand modeling. So then there's a bit of a tug of war between Maxine and Chad. And this time, Otis chooses to be in Chad's corner to show that he's not turning on Chad. He still got Chad's back. You know? He goes and joins Chad outside the ring. Chad Gable versus Ricochet. A match I couldn't muster any energy for. It literally means nothing. It was not promoted. Nobody cares about this. And then it was pretty obvious what was going to happen. And then Maxine Dupree came down to the ring. She distracted Otis, carried him away. That distracts Gable, leads to Ricochet winning. What did Ricochet win? Nothing. Did Chad Gable lose anything? No. The only thing that came out of here is that Otis is willing to turn his back on Chad Gable. You know, he wanted to be there, but then Gable seemed to have everything well in hand, so he left him. Okay. I don't mind the Otis and Maximum Male Model stuff. I actually don't mind that. I also don't mind that they keep coming up with these dumb reasons why the Maximum Male Models can't wrestle. This week, I think that they said Mansois exposed his cheeks or something like that. He had some cheek exposure, and their match against the Good Brothers was canceled. And I was like, oh my goodness, you know, whatever they did, they need to keep doing it so I won't have to watch the Good Brothers. You know, I've been loving life without the Good Brothers, you know. To be quite honest, Raw didn't get much better without the Good Brothers, if we're being honest. I can't even lie to you. But it's weird that the Good Brothers wouldn't get into this crazy fatal four-way, would they? Why wouldn't you put the Good Brothers in there? What are they doing? Nothing? Would you bring them back for again? As a favor to AJ Styles? Well, he's hurt. He's doing Snickers commercials with Brian Breaker. And, you know, to be quite honest, I looked at that screen and I saw AJ Styles and I was like, you know, I know that man. I've seen him somewhere before. I ain't seen him in a long time. I ain't even heard his name. They talk about AJ Styles, he got sucked into a vortex or something like that. Like, they literally don't, they didn't do none of the, you know, updates or nothing. You're not hearing nothing from the AJ Styles camp. It's like, dude, are you still alive? Well, I guess the Snickers commercial means that he actually is still alive. So, okay. But the Ricochet Chad Gable match, I'm pretty sure you guys liked it for the work rate match that it was. For me, I was like, this, I can't get jiggy with this. I can't stand it. You know, it's being done for no reason. I don't understand why it's happening. Okay, they did a wonderful vignette package for Brock Lesnar versus Omos, talking about their dimensions, their accolades, you know, the size of Omos's hands and his feet and his shoulders and everything versus Brock's accolades. You know, it would have been nice if Omos had some accolades. You know, it would have been nice if Omos had done something, you know, whether in wrestling or not. It would have been nice, but it was kind of like Brock Lesnar, champion in every single thing he's ever done except football. Omos, big guy. And that was it. Look, how many different ways can I say that he's big? His fist, big. His feet, big. His chest, big. You know, it's like, okay, we get it. He's big. Like, that's his superpower. His superpower is big. I get it. Jesus. Omos then goes out there and squashes Mustafa Ali. Everything about Mustafa Ali is cringe and he should be fired. I'm not even going to hold you up. I don't know what he's doing with these highlights in his hair. He posted that video with him lip syncing. I'm like, this dude is begging for unemployment. It wasn't that long ago that this guy wanted to be fired from WWE. They're holding this guy hostage and he's going stir crazy. There's no way he agreed to do this stupid gimmick. Like, he's probably sitting back thinking, what do I have to do to get fired? You know, it's been like, damn. I've never seen them try not to fire a guy so much. Just get rid of this dude, man. Like, he literally, he's serving no purpose right now. He's in a feud with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, who means less than paper right now. He is, oh goodness. Woo. He's as useful as a third nipple. Where is this going, by the way? Are they going to have like some kind of first blood Hell in a Cell match or something like that? Like, where is this going? What's the purpose of Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa Ali? There is no purpose. Who cares about this? After the match, Omos, MVP, says Omos fears no man, animal, or beast. and that Brock is going to learn to fear Omos. Okay. Short and sweet from MVP. I respect that MVP is disgusted by the way his character looks in WWE 2K23 and how cheap the suit looks. I appreciate that he's that petty that he's very upset about it. That's a man who cares about his image, because he even cares about his image on video games. All right, Logan Paul is going to host Impulsive, which is his goofy podcast, and he's going to basically do a stand-up promo. And it was a mixture of good, not so good, and this should have been shorter. That's what this was. If this would have been shorter, it would have been better. So he stands out there and he says he doesn't have to be there. He already made his millions. The crowd hates him, and only two people there love him. One is his dad, who he dragged to St. Louis. The other is the kid who had a Drink Prime poster, and he said he loved that kid. Then he says no matter how many superstars he beats up, the fans won't respect him. But then he says that he's a 360-degree entertainer, and that there's not a seat that he can't fill, not a person he can't beat up. And he says that his celebrity friends will never get caught anywhere in St. Louis. Then he says that he can't be afraid of a guy named Seth. Seths are nice guys. And he starts listing Seths. One of them is Steph Curry. That's not a Seth. But I don't think he remembered that. But then he said in an alternate universe or something like that, him and Seth Rollins could have been friends. Too bad Seth Rollins started this. And now he wants to knock him out again. And then they showed 100 times of, Logan Paul knocking out Seth Rollins. This was entirely too long. I'm going to tell you what the good parts of this was. The good parts of this was, no matter how many of your superstars I beat up, you'll never respect me. That was good, because that's the same angle The Miz plays. I'm a 360-degree entertainer. I like that. That's a good tagline. He says there's not a seat that he can't fill. There's not a person he can't compete with. I like that. That's pretty good. The stuff about the local football team, that's just, him doing generic heel heat. I could have done it without it, but okay. The Seths part definitely needs to be shaved out. Anything that involves the Seths needs to be left at home. They should have drew a red line through all of that Seth stuff. Just draw a red line through it. All the repeated videos of him knocking Seth Rollins out. We should have cut that much earlier than we actually did. There's parts of this that is actually very good. There's parts of this that is absolutely, generic heel heat. But most of this is solid. All right. Most of it is solid. Seth Rollins is in the production truck. He's mocking Logan Paul, not taking him seriously, saying, can anybody save this awful Impulsive? Then he pushes a button to play his own theme. The crowd is singing the theme. He comes out there. He immediately jumps on Logan Paul. Now we got a brawl. The brawl has started. Extras, security, they're jumping around trying to stop the fight. Now, Seth Rollins climbs up to the top of the top rope, and he jumps off on the extras who are too close to him. So because the extras are out of place, he nearly breaks his neck. This, of course, is completely ignored. By the time he got up, he got punched again by Logan Paul and knocked out again. So he knocked him out again. This is coming across a lot like the Adam Cole, Pat McAfee beef. How many of you guys remember that? And if you're an old school guy who, listening to this channel a long time, you got to understand how angry Pat McAfee and Adam Cole made me. It made me so angry that we had built up Adam Cole all this time only for Pat McAfee to get the best of him at every single turn. And people was in the comment section and on Twitter, oh, Adam Cole is going to win the match. You need to relax, chill out. And I was like, you're not getting big picture here. People are watching this, okay? People know that Pat McAfee is not a wrestler. Why are we continuing to have him beat up and embarrass the wrestler? If anything, doing the separation is fine. The same thing applies here. Look, I'm very impressed with Logan Paul and how well he's doing. And then I just found out he's only 28. I'm like, damn, this kid, he's got a future. He's decent. All right? He's not awful. But him just knocking out Seth Rollins with one punch makes Seth Rollins look stupid as fuck. It makes him look dumb. And what good is a wrestler that can't take a punch? Oh, but Logan Paul, he's a boxer. They're trying to put over his boxing skills. I'm like, man, how many goddamn boxers have been on this roster? You know, they keep doing this stuff where guys got a magic punch. He's got a nice little Sunday punch. It's like, no. Just do a separation. You know, just a pull apart where and he kicks Seth Rollins in the balls or something like that. You know, how are the people going to believe in Seth Rollins if he keeps getting knocked out by this fucking guy? That's the question I want to know. Are you going to feel sympathy for Seth Rollins because he keeps getting punched out by this dude? That didn't make Seth Rollins look very good. You know, yes, the match is going to be great because both are very athletic and they know how to structure a match, and Logan Paul can be led and everything. It's going to work out. But for Christ on a cracker, please, stop doing this. Stop putting wrestlers in position to put over non-wrestlers so convincingly. If you want to put them over, at least let the wrestler get some breathing room. You know, save the celebrity by pulling them away. Like if security or whatever would have shuffled Logan Paul out of there, it would have came across like, oh, Logan Paul's a bitch. He needs all his own security or whatever to get out of this situation. And then people would have been amped about Seth Rollins being out there. It's like they want to put Andy Kaufman in the Hall of Fame without paying attention to what made Andy Kaufman Hall of Fame. You know, like, of course you can't do the same thing. Andy Kaufman was a pencil neck geek, comedian, whatever. This Logan Paul is a legitimate athlete. You want to put him over somewhat. I get that. But make sure to keep your guys okay too. Like, I know you think Seth is bulletproof, and he can be, but you're going to put this in video packages. This is going to live forever because this is WrestleMania build. Is he going to spill his whole WrestleMania build laying on the fucking ground? When do we get to Seth Rollins actually looking like he's strong in his position? I don't know. And I'm not suggesting even a 50-50 booking of the situation. I'm suggesting that sometimes, you know, you have Seth Rollins getting nailed with the one Sunday punch. And, you know, hey, he got knocked out that one time. But he should be smarter coming back and not going to let that happen again. And then Logan Paul is saved by security and officials and everything. And then maybe it's time to turn down Seth Rollins' character to make him a lot more focused. With all the cackling and, you know, him wearing, you know, him dressed like Ace Ventura or whatever the hell. Like, a lot of this stuff needs to be... You can't be jokey and laughy and stupid with a guy who keeps knocking you out. That's the thing that's starting to bother me too. You know, that I've always been saying that these characters need to react uniquely to the situation that they're in. You know, this guy is trying to humiliate you. He knocks you on your ass twice. Maybe we ought to take him seriously now. You know, maybe we ought to, you know, cut a real promo on this guy. Maybe we ought to really get in his face now. You know, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. And I'm embarrassed. This was not bad. I just didn't like that, you know, Seth Rollins once again got knocked out while he was wearing like pajamas. It is what it is though. Dominic Mysterio defeats Johnny Gargano clean as a sheet with a frog splash. That was surprising. The match itself was not awful. I was definitely surprised they put Dominic Mysterio over clean. That was interesting. The Johnny Gargano had injured ribs from the fight with Grayson Waller, so that kind of explains why he lost. And it played a lot into the finish when he got suplexed off the top rope and everything. So they gave Johnny an out, which is the right thing to do. You always give your baby face an out. They shouldn't be losing clean. You should always give your baby face an out. Okay, so at this point, Dominic got a microphone. He's talking about this Friday night, the entire Mysterio family will be at SmackDown. He said it's the same family that blocked him, blocked his phone number, and kicked him out of the group chat. He says he's going to go out there and ask his mom for permission to fight his dad. And his dad will have to accept if he gets his balls out of her purse. I thoroughly enjoyed this promo from Dominic. And it's going to be what I said. Dominic is going to go bother mama. And it's going to be a completely different ball game at that point. Ray's going to have to stand up for his wife. And I'm very, very, very interested in this. And I cannot wait for it. Can't wait. That ought to be fun. Ought to be fun. Okay. What also was fun? Edge. Edge cut this promo in this dark room with the candles. It was nothing but his head. He was like Zordon from the Power Rangers. And ultimately he says that if you push him, he'll push you through the wall. He's a hostile man, but he keeps it locked away so that he can be civilized out in public and whatever. He quotes the Bible, though I walk in the valley in the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And he said he fears no evil because he is the evil in the valley. Leave Finn at home. Bring your demon to meet the devil. I was like, ooh, that's not bad. This is good. This was good stuff right here. Yeah. I would have liked we could have cut one of these bullshit matches out, especially one of the matches I'm about to talk about. Could have cut that bullshit match out and put Finn Balor's response in here. But this was good. Short, sweet, to the point, really putting over the Cell match, putting over Edge. I'm very impressed. So Rhea Ripley comes out here and she cuts a not good promo. Her promo was not good. She says that Charlotte is living in the past because she can't accept her future. So that Charlotte keeps talking about what happened 3 years ago when she was trying to make a name for herself. And said that she realized that Charlotte is not a true leader because leaders respect others. And Charlotte doesn't respect her and she will never respect her. Says that she makes Charlotte question herself and her belief in herself. And she brings out Charlotte's insecurities. And the truth is that Charlotte is washed. She's done. It's over. She's going to send her back home where she means nothing. Because without WWE, she is nothing. But she doesn't need Charlotte's respect. She wants Charlotte's fear. And I was like, should have tossed this whole thing in the bin. This feud has been so unfocused. Are we talking about respect? Are we talking about revenge? We're talking about 3 years ago. Rhea Ripley started this thing. She picked Charlotte because of what happened 3 years ago. Now she's upset that Charlotte is sticking to what happened 3 years ago. That was your whole impetus for choosing Charlotte. You need to edit her. Somebody needs to step in and say, wait a minute. Why did she choose Charlotte? She chose Charlotte because Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania 3 years ago. That's why. She is the one living in the past, not Charlotte. That's dumb. She is the one looking for retribution. That's what this should be about. Okay? This whole thing about leaders respecting others and Charlotte would never respect her. So what? Why does Rhea Ripley care about that? She's what they call her, the exterminator, the eradicator. Why the hell does she care about Charlotte's respect? Why does she give a damn about that? Now, the whole thing about her reminding Charlotte of her insecurities, I can respect that. We could go there with that one. I would go a different way, though. Her saying that Charlotte is done, Charlotte is washed, I can respect that. I say combine those two things. I say have Rhea Ripley go in the ring and say, I do bring out Charlotte's insecurities. She barely won. 3 years ago, but now she's 3 years older. She's, constantly going on hiatus. I don't think she's got it anymore. I think she's washed up. I think she's old and she's washed up, and she sees somebody young and strong and she's concerned. She's worried. That's a much more interesting promo. That, I'm the young hunter and I'm always going to be chasing and behind Charlotte. So even if she gets away from me this time, I'll be back. But how far can she run before I finally get my hands on her? That should have been the angle. Party's over, Grandpa. That's, to me, why not? This is so lacking in heat. It's too much. It's too much. See, hold on. Okay, look. 2 or 3 years ago? What was this? Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, right? Sasha Banks said that she wanted her feud with Bianca Belair to be just, why can't it just be, I'm the champion, you're the challenger, you want to be the champion, I don't want to stay the champion. Why can't it just be that? And then I just said, look, because that's boring. That's one promo, maybe two, and that's it. You need to have some heat. This is what happens when you leave it as I'm the champion, you're the challenger, you want the title, I want to keep the title. This is what you have. Everybody's just standing around looking like, okay, sure. Whatever you say, just get to the match already. Please, let's get to the match. Do something interesting. The lack of serious focus for these women's feuds is embarrassing. It sucks because Rhea Ripley's really good, but they don't know who she is. And that's stupid because she's been telling you who she is. You can look at her and see what she is. She shouldn't be saying any of this stuff. I poked out certain parts of it that might be useful to her character at some point. But in reality, she should just be a physical marvel that is physically dominant over Charlotte. And anytime she's in the same ring with Charlotte, she's just, mauling Charlotte like, Chyna and Marlena. In order for Charlotte to feel like she's got to overcome this. If they keep talking about each other like they're fucking equals, everybody's going to be looking like, okay. It's like, why should I get behind Charlotte? I actually like Rhea Ripley more. Make me hate Rhea Ripley. You're going to make me hate Rhea Ripley, but it's not going to be because she's a terrible person. It's going to be because you put terrible promos in her mouth, and then she went out there and performed them in a wooden fashion because she doesn't believe or didn't add any energy to this thing. And then you're going to have Charlotte come out and say the same thing over and over again. This was not good. Not good. And then it got worse because Bayley came out there. Bayley's talking about how much she respects Rhea and that, Damage Control respects Rhea. Rhea's like, no, don't care about your respect. Don't care about Damage Control at all. Don't want Damage Control's help. So then we lead to this heel versus heel match. Bayley versus Rhea Ripley. Now, why would you do this? What was the benefit of this heel versus heel match? Who is this supposed to help? Because Bayley lost. So she looked like a goof. Rhea Ripley won. But why would you waste the Rhea Ripley-Bayley match? I think this might have been the first time they ever wrestled each other on the main roster. And you threw it away in a heel versus heel match on fucking Raw. I mean, look at how embarrassing this was. This was stupid. It's a stupid match. Stupid story, stupid match. And we got this Lita thing with her talking about, hey, we need to start being genderless. Look, I know what she meant by it. I read the article. Matter of fact, let's read the article together so we're all on the same page. Lita said something stupid, but it wasn't as stupid as what people think it is. Here's what she said, the full context of what she said. She says, to me, the next barrier is genderless. I don't care how you identify. We're just going to go out there and show out. It's not like, what women do we have on the show? Where is the representation? No, fair game. Everyone go. Grab your spot and we go out there. Some nights that might mean 8 women's matches on the card. Some nights that might mean 2. to not still feel like it's a box to check, to make sure to represent the women. Of course they're going to be represented because they're good. Just continuing on, not being confined by gender is like, I see a prize, I go after it. We're not worried about what defines my gender. I see a title and that's what I want to do. Now, yes, it's goofy because it's like, what, you want to be the Intercontinental Champion? Huh! But at the same time, she's trying to say, look, if you're, rocking the house, if it's, 10 women who are very good. And so WrestleMania is now, 5 singles matches with women. And that's really what the crowd is into. Then that's what it should be. And I'm not even going to hold you up. That's how it should be. I'm not going to say put, boring guys on TV just because they're boring. Besides, I also know that you'll probably never have women on the roster to the degree that she thinks, because you'll probably never have that many good women at one time. And as long as the roster is mostly male, the idea of it being in any way equal is nonsense. But then, to be fair, if we want to take what Lita says at face value, most of these women suck right now, especially these feuds. I'm at the point where I'm saying we might as well have Bianca Belair and Asuka on fucking Raw. Why should that be at WrestleMania? We might as well have Charlotte and Rhea Ripley as on an episode of SmackDown. This thing goes from being, when you look at the Bloodline and Kevin Owens and the Usos and all them, that looks like something from WrestleMania. That looks like something for the biggest show of the year. The rest of this shit looks like you building Great Balls of Fire. You building Unforgiven number 72 or some shit. This wouldn't even make Clash of Champions or Crown Jewel. Most of this stuff is trash. All right? It's absolute trash. Triple H is hanging his entire hat on the Bloodline right now. He's not putting any effort into anything else. It's Bloodline or bust. If the Bloodline don't make the nut on the show, then nothing will. Proof. Okay, so we got Bray Wyatt might be sick, injured, possibly dead. We don't know. We're not getting any updates. They took Lashley off TV for 2 weeks. So Lashley gets nothing because his opponent is sick. We can't even replace the fucking guy. You're not going to replace him? Okay, well, if you're not going to replace him, at least do something. Do some cryptic videos featuring some other guys or something. Do something. Because apparently, if Lashley and Bray is still on, you're just going to have the match randomly when Bray starts feeling better again. But if the match is off, why does Lashley have to stay home? There's tons of other fucking guys on the roster you should be trying to put in that spot then. Karrion Kross, Bronson Reed. Hell, you even had Braun Strowman before you threw him in this fucking stupid ass showcase match. You had people you could have used. Heels that could have been strong that you could have put in this match with Lashley. If that's what you want to do. You even was teasing the Hurt Business returning. You dropped that. This is awful. This is terrible booking. This is all the shits. It's all the shits. So when she's talking about, we need to be genderless, it's like, might as well be genderless right now. The women ain't very good. Their feud sucks. Both of them, all of them. Because Damage Control is trash. Damage Control, trash. Asuka is great. Bianca Belair is great. Together, this feud, not good. Rhea Ripley is good. Charlotte is good. This feud together, not good. Oh, it's going to be the main event of WrestleMania. No, it's not. This shit should open the show. It should be the third match. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte should be the third fucking match. Oh, it should be the main event. Why? Because vagina? That's not a good enough reason. This match, this feud, these feuds suck. I don't give a damn about Lita talking about we need to be genderless. Who cares about that? This shit is boring. It's garbage. It's feces. It's basura. Alright? It's shaisa. It's not good. Put stuff on TV that is good. Take boring people off TV. Alright? Why is Mustafa Ali occupying time on my television? To do what exactly? I don't get it. You might as well have played the WrestleMania musical thing on here. Just put it on here. You know? Why not? That probably would have been infinitely more entertaining than anything you got to do with Mustafa Ali or Chad Gable. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. Work rate guy, I don't care. All right? I don't give a damn. I've been saying this about Chad Gable for like 5 or 6 weeks now. He must have pictures of Triple H bending Paige over the desk or something like that. That's the only way him being on this show every week since Triple H took over will make sense. Because it's just not working. All right? Johnny Gargano doesn't get a reaction. Damage Control doesn't get a reaction. Chad Gable doesn't get a reaction. None of these people are getting reactions. They're not doing anything to get any of these people over. It's supposed to be WrestleMania season, man. I'm infinitely excited for the Bloodline stuff. For the Edge and the Finn Balor stuff, I'm even kind of warming up to that. But then when you dump this showcase shit on me, I'm like, come on, man. Like, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. Why? I don't want to see that. All right? And then you take Lashley away. So Lashley not going to be on the card. But the fucking Viking Raiders are? Huh? I don't know, man. I don't get it. Help me, please. Help me figure it out. Somebody point me in the direction of things that make sense. You know, I've been very frustrated by the WrestleMania build-up. Very, very frustrated. I'm one of the few people in the world that don't like that triple threat for the Intercontinental title. I don't like it. I don't like triple threat matches. It's hard for me to get excited for triple threat matches. I just don't care. You need to have somebody to cheer for. Got to have somebody to boo. If you're going to put 2 baby faces on a goddamn triple threat match, who am I supposed to cheer for? Who am I supposed to cheer for? Why am I splitting my cheers? Anybody but Gunther, I guess, huh? That's stupid. That's not how you make a star at all. Which means Gunther's going to win. Because he's going to have to overcome the odds. But why should the heel be overcoming the odds? That's stupid. That's why triple threat matches don't work. So we're looking at this situation and we're saying to ourselves, they're building WrestleMania. This is what they tell us. But the card is a mess. The card is a mess. It's part WrestleMania, part Great Balls of Fire. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. My only hope is that Bray Wyatt actually does pop back up, because at least you have another marquee match on the card, another big star on the card, and then you at least have the Hell in a Cell match will be good. Seth Rollins, hopefully they could change the booking with Seth Rollins and it'll work out. And, you know, his match with Logan Paul would be good. I have faith in the Hell in a Cell match and the Logan Paul Seth Rollins match as undercard matches to be actually pretty good. Bray Wyatt and Lashley was going to be a spectacle. I was looking forward to that. Omos, Brock Lesnar is going to be a spectacle. I'm looking forward to that. The rest of the card, throw it in the bin. Right? Both nights, throw it in the bin. We better off at this point having one card than having 2 weak-ass cards. Why have 2 weak-ass, bitch-ass cards when you can have one strong card? Just imagine if the Usos and Kevin Owens was the same night as Cody and Roman. The same night as Brock and Omos. The same night as the Hell in a Cell match. You know, that would have been great. One very good evening versus 2 mid evenings. Because it's looking mid as hell right now. Unless somebody catch fire, it ain't going to change. You even got John Cena and Austin Theory. That's an afterthought. Cena cut one promo, then vamped. After the dirt sheets told me that Cena was going to be available for TV. Lies. Cena ain't been back since. And then they're not even letting Austin Theory talk about John Cena. He said one line about John Cena in the 2 weeks since John Cena just mowed him over on a promo. No character growth. No, nothing. This is terrible. It is terrible. It is awful. I forgot in my ranting that I do love the Dominic Mysterio, Rey Mysterio angle. So I guess there are some angles, more than I would give them credit for, that I'm actually enjoying. I'm enjoying the Mysterios. Enjoying Finn Balor and Edge. Now, Enjoy the Bloodline. That's two different angles right there. It's two stories. It's two matches. But there's big names on this card that you just kind of shrug. Like Cena is a big shrug. It's like, okay, he's wrestling Austin Theory. Okay. Who is Austin Theory? If you walk down the street, ask the average person who is Austin Theory, they have no idea. Why is John Cena about to wrestle this kid? Well, because he wanted it. He didn't fuck John Cena's wife. He didn't run him over with a car. Like, this is WWE we talking about here, right? Like, WWE, they do stuff like that. You know, you about to fight a guy because he wanted to mow you over with his car. You know? You was in the ambulance and he smashed a Mack truck into the ambulance. You know, that's WWE for you. You know, he hit me with a lead pipe. You know, he tried to steal my wife from my girlfriend. He tried to cuck me. You know, he stole my shampoo commercial. Anything then, well, they want to have the match because he asked. That's when you break it down, that's why John Cena versus Austin Theory is happening. Because he asked. This is stupid. It's stupid. At least when it comes to Dominic and Ray, they're doing a very good job. Edge and Finn Balor, they built this up over a year. Very good job. Bloodline, absolutely fantastic. You know? But the women's feuds have been atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. They dropped the ball. The Bray Wyatt, Lashley, Omos, that mumbo jumbo that they, did right here makes no sense. Brock is going to come out perfectly fine because his match is a spectacle. It's going to be all about him picking up Omos. Lashley apparently is going to be sitting at home twiddling his thumbs because Bray Wyatt caught the sniffles at the wrong time of the year. And they not even going to bother to replace the fucking guy. At least replace him, for Christ's sake. Come on. I'm very frustrated with this. I'm just very, very frustrated with this. And it sucks because it should be better. We were told that it was going to improve when Triple H took over. And it's been worse. It's been worse, to be being honest. It's worse because at least when it's Vince, we could say it's Vince. And Vince sometimes doesn't care about certain things in the undercard. But we heard that Triple H is trying to make the mid-card titles mean something. He's trying to make this mean something. He's trying to do this. He's trying to, I guess. I'm sitting here watching the shows, and I'm telling you, only 2 or 3 good things happen the whole damn night. It's 3 hours, bruh. You can't get those hours back. All right. I'm out of here. Do all the YouTube things, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you guys for your time. I'll talk to you guys later. Feel free to try to correct me if you dare. But I'm pretty sure most people agree. If so, hit the like button. Peace out.
Tell me what's worse than learning all that you led to believe was all horse crap.